Hey, this is Michael Cirillo from the DPB, and today we're going to talk about some really simple ways that you can maximize the ROI of your website. Now, listen, if you're driving, you might want to pull over so that you can take some notes, or better yet, since this is a podcast, I guess you can just replay it when you get a more convenient time. Either way, this information is going to be posted over at the flexdealer.com blog, complete with images and links if you want to dig in and check it out. And yes, I recommend you do that. So what are we talking about today? It's something I call the website maximizer. How did I come up with that? Well, I needed a title for this episode, and that seemed to make the most sense. So kind of fits, though. I'm going to share a simple step-by-step process that you can swipe in order to key in on your target audience interests, gain favor with both them and Google, i.e. schmooze the googs, and of course, increase conversions. Now, if you're thinking, dude, Cirillo, this is too good to be true. Well, it is too good, but it's real, man. It works. It's really simple. It's really, really simple, and it works. So first and foremost, when you want to find out what your customers want, there's a simple marketing hack that probably goes overlooked. I mean, I've overlooked it. I mean, when I had the epiphany, the aha moment, I was like, dude, what am I doing? It's the manufacturer. Head over to the OEM website for whatever brands you carry. You know, if you're a Honda dealer, head over to honda.ca or honda.com and click to view their model lineup. Pay close attention to the imagery and how they depict the vehicle, okay? Are there people in the vehicle photos? If so, what stands out to you about them? What kind of clothes are they wearing? What's their age? You know, do they look like they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? What? Does the vehicle have a tagline? So here's an example to dissect this, okay? So I'm looking at the 2017 Honda Pilot on honda.com. When you visit that page, okay, one of the first things you'll see is a photo of a father and a son out in nature loading mountain bikes onto the roof of the sport utility vehicle. The tagline, okay, here's what I'm talking about. The modern family vehicle, okay? What's so incredibly genius about examining the OEM marketing collateral is that you're leveraging the millions of dollars that they spend to develop buyer personas, imagery, and messaging. Okay, so rather than reinventing the wheel, or worse, spending your money trying to advertise the vehicle for everyone, you can swipe the results the money has been put to use for by the OEM, right? Okay, you leverage their money. They're spending it anyways. From there, something that I like to do is mosey on over to Facebook, okay? If you have an official Facebook page for your dealership, you're going to want to have the actual name of the dealership handy. So if you're, I don't know, ABC Motors Incorporated, and that's the name of your page, then you want to know that. You can't just type in ABC Motors. But you see, Facebook has what's called graph search. And it's the most used and probably most underutilized feature on all of Facebook, in my opinion. It's that search bar you're likely already using at the top of the page to type in your friend's name so that you can get to their profile faster and Facebook creep on them. But what you might not know is that Facebook has a very sophisticated search functionality built into that, which will help you validate what your immediate connections are also interested in. So try this, okay? In the Facebook search bar, type this, okay? Pages liked by people who like, and then put in the name of your dealership Facebook page, okay? Pages liked by people who like, insert dealership Facebook page name here, okay? So the result should be a list of all the pages that are liked by people who also like your dealership page. Take a few minutes over your morning cup of joe to see if there's anything that stands out to you. When I tried this, I found that a local dealership had followers who were also following a local mountain bike store. You can use that information to align customers' common interests with your business objectives. So if we're tying this all together with what we just did, the exercise on the OEM website, finding that the Pilot is positioned for the modern family and the imagery is, father and son loading up the mountain bikes, all of a sudden, I've struck gold here within, 20 minutes, right? So if you sell sport utility vehicles and you see that your fans have also liked a local mountain bike store, dude, I'd already be in the car on my way over to that mountain bike store to introduce myself. And I'd be seeing if they'd be interested in me featuring, some of their top sellers in a blog post. Okay. A blog post that we're going to post on our dealership website. This approach will help you reach out to the people that are interested in mountain biking while simultaneously featuring your sport utility vehicle. I mean, we see this practice all over the place. If you've ever watched a Netflix original or, dude, like an episode of CSI or something, there is so much product placement happening all the time. And we sit there and we see like Horatio on CSI sipping a Pepsi Max or something. And all of a sudden we're like, yeah, I got a hankering for Pepsi Max. Dude, that's not coincidence. It's product placement. And if you're not doing it, why aren't you doing it? So why does this work? Something called the Law of Reciprocity. To sum that up in just real simple terms, it means that if you do something nice for somebody, they have this deep psychological urge to do something nice in return for you. In this instance, you are doing something nice by providing them mountain bike, or you're providing mountain bike enthusiasts information about the activity they love. And I'll tell you what, I know a few mountain bikers, and dude, they are hardcore fanatics. They return the favor by visiting your blog or your page, by liking your social post about it, and also sharing that blog post with their fellow enthusiasts. The nice thing about them, dude, is they travel in packs. So they go mountain bike. You rarely see people going mountain biking by themselves. They always have, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 people going up into the mountains with them. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, but what should that blog post or video be about? Like, am I just going to talk about mountain biking? Yes, no. I'm glad you asked. Before you start writing, you want to navigate your way over to one of my favorite little tools on the web called Soovle, SOOVLE.com. You're going to want to look past the ugliness of this site, okay, for a moment. It's really ugly. You just want to be there and bask in the glory of its functionality for a minute, okay? Soovle ties into the auto-suggest algorithm. You ever notice when you start typing something into Google and it automatically shows you some of the suggested things that you search for? Well, that's an algorithm. Google takes every search ever conducted and they compile it into this nifty little algorithm that presents you with the most commonly searched search phrases or search terms so that you can, it's an effort on their part to try and get you to the most relevant information by kind of guessing or looking at what your intent is. So Soovle brings all of the auto-suggest functionality from some of the most popular search engines from Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube, Amazon. It ties them all together all in one screen. So as you start typing, it starts auto-suggesting from all of those search engines. Here's what I would try, okay? Since we're talking about basically sport utility vehicles for the context of this exercise and mountain bikes, since we find some synergy here, try typing, something like how to load a mountain bike and see what those search engines auto-suggest for you. You're going to see some really interesting things. You might see something like how to load a mountain bike on a roof rack, or how to load a mountain bike in the back of on the back of your SUV. Whatever it is, you can use that information to get ideas about what to blog about or what to create pages about on your website, or what to do social posts on. It's all content, or what to do a video on and post on YouTube. You can't tell me there isn't a mountain biker somewhere who isn't asking Google or some other search engine, quote, how to load a mountain bike, ... right? I can tell you for a fact, my wife, as a novice mountain biker, has definitely searched the web in some way, shape, or form, whether YouTube or, whatever it is, for best practices, tips, and tricks. Especially if you have the mount that plugs into your trailer hitch and you got to figure all that out. I mean, people are searching for stuff. See, the beauty of all of this is that you're the one providing the information. You are the source, and as such, you gain the credibility. When you produce or when you produce or product place your product and produce blogs with a nice little flair, natural, not pushy, and you talk about your vehicle's unique features in a way that solves their problems while simultaneously meeting them on their interests, dude, you're planting a seed that will continue to pay you dividends well into the future. Okay, it lasts forever. Once the content is published, it's there. And you can't tell me that people next year and the year after and the year after that aren't going to be interested in mountain biking. You're always going to find. Now, again, don't look too deeply into the mountain biking. The exercise here is to kind of use this example for how you can reach out to other segments. I mean, if it's not mountain biking, maybe it's farming and it's towing heavy objects, or it's dirt biking, or it's construction, the trades, whatever it might be. There is a vehicle that you sell that solves the problems and meets the lifestyle of the consumer. Now, here's what I love about content, okay? Google has officially said that one of their top 3 ranking factors is content. Of course it is. I mean, what would the internet be without content? Now, if you've heard any of my previous podcasts, or if you've heard me speak at a conference, you've heard me say that. What would the internet be without content? What would Google be? What would the purpose of Google be? I mean, the whole mission of Google is to organize and make more accessible the world's content. So if that's the case, it's in your best interest to produce as much content as you possibly can. When the focus of your content is to solve problems or answer questions, in other words, to enrich and enhance someone's life, you win favor with the Googs. You're schmoozing the Googs. See, because Google has to rank somebody. They're going to index you. And if your content is higher quality and higher relevancy, you will outrank your competitors. Simply because, and this is all predicated upon the fact that Google, by virtue of being a search engine, has to rank somebody. So your objective, put out the information that people are searching for. Simple as that. Now, on that note, if you've ever found yourself struggling to create content because you don't know what to write or you don't know what to say on camera, and I mean, I've been there, man. I don't even want to add up the hours that I've just sat there in Google Docs staring at the blinking cursor. It's like taunting me, if you're like that, man, if you've ever had that struggle, head over to sites like Edmunds and read the customer reviews. Okay, you'll eliminate a ton of busy work and frustration and staring at the blinking cursor, wondering what you should write about, by simply borrowing what real customers have said about that vehicle. For example, okay, I went to Edmunds and searched for reviews on the 2017 Honda Pilot because that's what we're kind of talking about right now. And while I'll admit this was a bit of a fluke and I can't guarantee it's going to happen this quickly all of the time, the first customer review on the page said, as the caption, 2017 Honda Pilot, all-star utility player. Boom. There's the page caption or a blog headline or your video title, all-star utility player. You want to take a little bit of time on the front end, and by so doing, by following this process, you'll save a load of time and money on the back. So you've got a process for finding consumer interests. You've got a process for schmoozing the Googs with content. The last question is, how do you increase conversions? Here's one of my favorite simple hacks, okay? But first, have you ever been in one of those ice cream shops that advertises on the billboard outside that they have 181 flavors? Sounds really good. Sounds like a good idea until you walk through those doors and enter the dominion of the ice cream beast and realize that you don't have the energy or faculties to make a good decision. Is it pralines and cream? You think until your eye catches the maple walnut birthday cake? Or for us Canadians, tiger ice cream? What's my point? Studies show that when there are too many options, you either don't make a choice or you're less likely to be satisfied with the choice you made. What if I'd been happier had I chosen the bubblegum ice cream rather than the vanilla bean, right? Like it's that kind of thing. So here's the solution. If you want to increase conversions, take a look at every page on your website and go into an audit with this philosophy. One page, one purpose. One blog, one purpose. One VDP, one purpose. Take the time you need to identify what the most valuable action the consumer can take will be, not just for your own benefit, but for theirs, and get rid of everything else. Seriously, why do you have 181 calls to actions on your VDP? Do you honestly believe that being in the customer's shoes do you honestly believe that you'd feel compelled to choose one of those? What if you submit a credit app accidentally, not realizing, man, I really just wanted more information first? There's no way to back out of that. Maybe in the moment you're like, yeah, I'm going to do the credit app. And then after you click submit, you're like, balls. That's not what I wanted to do, right? Pralines and cream versus the vanilla bean. So one of my favorite web conversion bloggers, guy by the name of Peep Laha, I think is how you say it. I've never met him in person. He's over at Conversion XL, published a comprehensive study about how to optimize for conversions. Okay. He found that simple layout changes, simplified calls to action, and the elimination of distractions have several documented conversion increases to the page. It really is that simple. One page, one purpose. So here's the gist. Get out of the customer's way. I know it seems like you need to have 400 options on the page. The reality is that you just don't. So stop. Make it as easy and relevant as possible for the customer to naturally flow through the funnel. All right. That's it for this episode of the DPB. Like I said, a detailed blog with images and links and examples will be posted over at theflexdealer.com blog. And until next time, keep the playbook open and dominate.